Hello everyone. Today we'll be doing chapter computer systems. So first we'll start with what is a computer? Computer is an electronic device that can be programmed to accept data, process it, and generates the result. Now what is an electronic device? A device which runs on DC current is called an electronic device. Like you people must have seen that a laptop or a mobile or any other electronic device comes with an adapter. Why we use adapter? Adapter is used to convert AC current to DC current. If you see mobile charger, which we call in general terms we call it as a charger, it is not a charger, it is an adapter. So basic thing is an electronic device runs on DC current first thing, and it has some integrated circuits, or you can call chips. So what is a computer system? A computer along with additional hardware and software together is called a computer system. So computer system consists of a hardware and a software. Like if you see a computer or a PC, which we call in general terms personal computer, it comes with monitor, keyboard, a cabinet, UPS. Now what is UPS? Full form is uninterrupted power supply. It gives you backup when electricity goes off. So that is called a computer system, which comprises of hardware and software. Software which runs on a hardware through which you are able to perform certain tasks. So here is the block diagram of a computer system. It consists of input unit. We'll be learning what input output units are, but here right now we'll just see what basic things are there. Input unit is there. Then if you see, you have central processing unit, CPU, which we call. Then we get output unit, from which you get the final output. And one more thing is there, that is storage unit. Storage unit is very important, where you are storing your data for future use. Like if you can store your movies, you can store your songs, photographs, and an intermediate result while doing some process. Like if you see, you input data. What is data? Data is some raw facts and figures are called data. So you enter raw information. Raw information is data. It gets processed in CPU with the help of storage unit. For help of storage unit means that in storage unit you can save your intermediate result, or you can use whatever you have already stored there. So if you see, input unit has single arrow, one-sided arrow, that is going towards or coming out of input unit. From CPU to storage unit, you can see there are double-headed arrows, double side arrows, that data is going to storage unit and data coming from storage unit. Okay, so what it means, that you can store your intermediate data, or you can store the result, or you can retrieve data from the storage unit for for any particular purpose. After processing the data, you get the output. Output is what? The information. Refined data is called an information. Desired data is called information. Like if I ask you something regarding a particular topic, Now what you do, you collect in the data or facts and figures for other things as well. So that is a data for me, because you have collected many things. Something is relevant for the particular topic, and there are many things which are not. So what you need to do, that you need to refine, you need to see or delete the unwanted part from it. After doing that and collecting facts and figures for that particular topic, then it becomes an information. So likewise, your computer works like if you input, let's say you want to do addition of two numbers, you need to enter two numbers and an arithmetic operator. After doing that, CPU will be processing it, and it will be storing intermediate result in primary storage. What is primary and secondary storage will be learning afterwards. Then it will be adding it, and the output will be 4. It will be displayed using output devices. Okay, so let's move ahead. CPU. As CPU is central processing unit. It is the electronic circuitry of a computer that carries out the actual processing, and usually referred as the brain of the computer. So CPU is the brain of the computer doing all the computing part. It is central processing unit, which means it is the central part of a computer where anything and everything is happening. It takes control of the devices. It gives direction. It gives commands to different peripheral devices connected to it. So for any processing part, CPU is involved. CPU comprises of two parts. First one is ALU. ALU stands for Arithmetic and Logic Unit. This part comes into action when any arithmetic or logical operations need to be performed. Arithmetic operations are like addition, subtraction, division, or multiplication. Logical operations are like less than, greater than, equal to, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to. So anything related to mathematics are covered under arithmetic logic unit. Next is CU, control unit. It provides control signals like sequential instruction execution, means like if I've given 10 instructions, then what is the flow of the instruction and how it needs to be performed. It interprets instructions, whatever instructions have been given, what a computer needs to do in that case, which device needs to work. These all things are controlled by control unit. Guides data flow through the computer's memory, ALU, and input or output devices. So it takes care of the flow of data from memory or from arithmetic logic unit, or data coming from input or output devices. So basically control unit controls all the data flow, all the instructions given to all the instructions to be given to other devices to perform. These things are controlled by control unit. So your CPU is consists of ALU and CU. ALU takes care of your arithmetic and logical operations. CU, that is control unit, takes care of other things like data flow, sequential instructions, and interpreting the instructions given. Input devices. Input devices are those devices through which you give input or give instruction to the computer. Like if we know the basic input devices are keyboard, mouse. These two everyone knows. Scanner is the one which converts a hard copy to a soft copy. Now, what is a hard copy? Hard copy is anything which is in your hand, which you can touch, like a sheet of paper, like any document you have in your hand. So, like your photograph. Now, what scanner does? It converts it into soft copy. Soft copy means it is something which is inside your computer. Like if I want to scan my image, I need to if I need to upload that particular image for any of the entrance exam or any other purpose, what I need to do, I need to scan that image using a scanner, and it will come in your system. Joystick are generally used for playing games. Touchscreen phones are there. Touchscreen laptops are also there. So anything you are touching on the particular area, it gets input or instruction accordingly. Barcode reader. This you must have seen in any of the departmental store, any of your place where they in departmental stores. You can see them in Archie's. You can see them like buying anything and everything. These days, barcode reader are used. So just they scan that, it comes in your system. It all the information regarding that particular product. Next is biometric sensors. They are used for giving access to certain areas, like you must have seen. It is generally and basically used for attendances, like you need to put your finger on that particular device. It takes your fingerprints and gives attendance. Or it, like you must have seen in different movies, that eye scanner is there, retina scanner, through which they give access to a particular door or it door opens. So those things comes under biometric sensors. MICR stands for magnetic ink character reader. These are the readers, or these are the input devices through which you take information from a particular checkbook. You must have seen, you can see that there is a different way of writing numbers on a check. If you see the bottom of a check, there are numbers written, but they are written in a particular format, or in a particular style that is read by MICR. Next come OMR. OMR is optical mark reader. OMR sheets we must have filled, like where you fill where you darken a particular circle. OMR device, what it does, it takes care of the circles you have darkened and they mark you accordingly. Light pen, it is a device through which you touch the screen and it takes the input. You can try to find out all other input devices which can be which are there in the market. Output devices, the devices through which you display the output on screen or as a printout, are called output devices. Basically, output devices are the ones which provides or gives you the information, the result of the data that has been processed, which was given as an input through the input device. So basic examples of output devices are monitor, projector, headphone is there because it gives you output as the noise, as you can listen to the songs. Speaker, similarly, speaker gives you sound. So printer, it gives you the hard copy. As I told you what hard copy is, I repeat, hard copy is the printout or is a sheet which is in your hand, which you can touch. So these are the output devices. Now, what is a memory? A computer system needs memory to store the data instructions for processing. So memory is very important part of any system. What it does, it stores the intermediate results, instructions, and if you don't want to give that result as through the output device, you can store that particular result in your memory. So memory is there for which you can use for your future purpose. Like if I want to store some song, if I want to store some video, I can store that in memory. Memory, whatever data you're storing in memory gets stored in different format, and the basic unit of memory is called bits. Whatever data you store in memory or in computer gets stored in form of 0 1, because computer memory or a machine understands 0 1 language, that is binary language. Some people call that machine language. So anything and everything in computer is in the form of 0 1, and the initial and the basic unit of memory is called bits. So 8 bits equal to 1 byte. 8 bits means combination of 0 1 of combination of 8 digits in form of 0 1, that is 1 byte. 1024 bytes equals to 1 KB. 1024 KB equals to 1 MB. 1024 MB equals to 1 GB. GB is gigabytes. There are such more uh, by more notations in that. Like if we write 1024 GB, that is 1 TB. These days we have our hard disk, external hard disk of 1 TB, 2 TB, that is terabytes. Computer memory are of two types. First one is primary memory. Primary memory is the one which directly interacts with CPU. Program and data are loaded into the primary memory before processing. CPU interacts directly with the primary memory to perform read or write operation. Whenever a computer is processing anything, it interacts with primary memory. Primary memory is the one which is also called as main memory, and it is the one through which all the processing work happens. Intermediate results are stored there. When you are loading or when you are executing a particular program and you see it gets loaded in your system, loading means that the data is coming or the files are coming from from secondary memory to the primary memory. First it gets loaded in RAM. So what is RAM? RAM is random access memory. So you must have heard that if some program or a software or a game is taking time, we generally say increase the RAM. Why? Because it will be able to store large chunk of that particular software or a game in RAM, and CPU will run it through RAM, and it will make execution faster. So anything and everything which is running in your system, which is being which you are executing, gets stored in RAM. But there are certain points which we need to understand. RAM is a volatile memory. Now, what is volatile? Volatile means as soon as your electricity goes off, whatever is stored in RAM gets deleted. So RAM is a temporary memory. It stores data for temporary purposes. It doesn't hold it for for longer time. As soon as light goes off, electricity goes off, the memory is washed. So RAM is a volatile memory. Next is ROM. ROM is read-only memory. ROM is non-volatile, which means that irrespective of electricity goes off or it is on, whatever is stored in ROM stays there. It is used as permanent storage for the content which are rarely changed. So what kind of content is stored in ROM? Your BIOS settings. BIOS is basic input output system. What it means, like whenever you're whenever you're switching on your system, you see that certain programs get executed. We don't need to do anything in that. And whenever and every time you are opening your switching on your system, those things get executed, those programs, those softwares gets executed those many times. So instructions regarding those softwares and certain part of it get stored in ROM. So we store, or manufacturers store, those informations which are rarely changed in ROM. So one should know the difference between RAM and ROM. RAM is a volatile memory, ROM is non-volatile. In RAM you can read and you can write, but in ROM, as the full form says, it is read-only memory. RAM is read and write memory. There you can read, from there you can read, or you can write something, that is you can store something over there for temporary purpose. So primary memory, which is also called as main memory, consists of two things, RAM and ROM. Next comes secondary storage, secondary memory, auxiliary memory. These three terms which we use are these three terms we use to denote secondary memory. Secondary memory is non-volatile. It is non-volatile. Whatever you save there, it stays there. Large storage capacity than primary memory. As you know that nowadays even in phones we have 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB hard disk, or a memory card, or you have your internal memory of this size. So, but it is slower. That is the reason why your CPU directly interacts with primary memory. CPU never interacts with your secondary memory. Whatever data is in secondary memory, and if that needs to be used, it first goes to primary memory, and from there the execution happens. But being slower, it is cheaper as well. Main memory costs a lot. That is why RAM is costlier than your hard disk. So what are the examples of secondary memory? Hard disk drive, CD, DVD. What is the full form of CD? It is compact disc. DVD, digital versatile disc. Memory cards are there, which we can use. We have pen drives, we have uh, flash drives. So these are the examples of secondary memory. So last part of this chapter, buses. Now, as we said, data is flowing. We are taking data from retrieving data from memory. It is getting stored. Data is getting stored from secondary memory to primary memory. The CPU is using it. So how that all is happening? Like if how data is flowing, that is flowing with the help of buses. Data are transferred between different components of a computer system using physical wires called bus. So what is the basic purpose of a bus? It transfers, or it takes passenger from one place to another. That is why even the wires in computers are called as buses, because what they are doing, they are transferring, or they are used to for the data flow from one component to another one. There are three types of buses. First one is data bus, which is used to transfer data between different components. Next is address bus, which transfers addresses between CPU and main memory. Third one is control bus, which communicates signals between different components of a computer. Control bus, what it does, like if I've given a print command, it will send signal to printer that get ready, and it will check whether printer is on, paper is there, cartridge is there. So after sending the signals, control bus is taking care of all these things as well. It takes the response from the printer whenever it sends signals, or it is sending signal to a scanner, or to a, or if we have pressed any key on a keyboard, what it means, that control signal flows from your keyboard to CPU. So these things are taken care by control bus. So we have three types of buses. One is data bus, second is address bus, third is control bus. And what buses are used for? Buses are used for transferring data or transferring signals between different components in a computer system. Thank you.